I matched with her a week before Valentine's Day. Her name was Lisa, blonde hair, bright smile, the kind of girl you'd be stupid to pass up. We chatted for a few days and things seemed to click. So when she suggested dinner and drinks at my place, I didn't hesitate. The evening started well. We laughed over cheap wine and swapped stories. But there was this smell, faint at first, like something rotten. I chalked it up to the trash I forgot to take out. Her phone kept buzzing nonstop. She'd glance at it, type furiously, then shove it back into her purse. Work stuff, she'd say with a dismissive smile. When we got back to my place, things got more flirtatious. She was pouring me drink after drink, always insisting I take another shot. It felt forced, like she was trying too hard. She leaned in to kiss me, her lips cold and her perfume overly sweet, masking that same off-putting smell. Mid-kiss, her phone rang again. She jumped up, muttering, "I need to take this. Be right back." She went into the hallway, her voice low and hurried. Then I heard it, the unmistakable creak of my front door opening. My heart sank. I peeked around the corner just as she whispered, "Hurry, he's almost out." She was letting two men in, both big, burly, and carrying, I don't even know what. I didn't wait to find out. I bolted upstairs and locked myself in the bathroom, my hands shaking as I dialed 911. I heard them searching the house, Lisa's voice now cold and businesslike. No trace of flirtation left. "He's upstairs, find him." I climbed out the bathroom window, dropping onto the porch roof and sliding down to the backyard. I ran, not looking back, not even when I heard her yell, "He's getting away!" The cops showed up, but by then, they were gone. No trace of Lisa or her friends. I deleted Tinder that night, number 2. I broke up with Mark 2 days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't an easy decision, but things had gotten weird. He was too intense, always wanting to know where I was, who I was with. It became suffocating. He didn't take the breakup well. His eyes had gone cold, and he just walked away without saying a word. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. On Valentine's Day, I stayed home. No romantic plans, just me, my little brother Jason, and a stack of movies to distract myself. Mom and Dad were out for dinner, so it was just the two of us. Around 9 p.m., Jason paused the movie, his brows furrowed. "Did you hear that?" I laughed it off. "Hear what?" He shrugged. "I thought I heard someone outside." He was only 12 with a wild imagination. I blamed it on the scary movie we were watching. But then I heard it too, a faint scraping noise coming from downstairs, like someone dragging something across the floor. I stood up, my pulse quickening. "Stay here." Of course, Jason didn't listen. He followed me as I crept down the stairs, the old wood creaking beneath our feet. The noise was louder now, coming from the front door. A scraping, then a slow, deliberate knock. I peeked through the peephole, my stomach dropping. Mark stood on the porch, his head tilted, eyes wide and unblinking. He looked different, his face pale, lips chapped, like he hadn't slept in days. His hands were scratched and bleeding, his knuckles raw. I whispered to Jason, "Go upstairs. Now." He shook his head, fear glistening in his eyes. "Who is it?" I didn't answer. My heart raced as Mark began to whisper, his voice muffled through the door. "I just want to talk, Emma. I just want to see you." His tone was calm, almost sweet, but it sent chills down my spine. I backed away, pulling Jason with me. We moved slowly, trying not to make a sound. But then Jason tripped over a shoe by the stairs, the thud echoing through the hallway. Mark's head snapped up. "Emma, I heard you!" He began pounding on the door, harder and harder. "Let me in! I just want to talk!" I grabbed Jason's hand, practically dragging him up the stairs. We ran into my room, locking the door behind us. I could still hear Mark, his fist slamming against the front door. Then it stopped. Silence. I held my breath, straining to listen. Maybe he gave up. Maybe he left. But then I heard the back door creak open. I had forgotten to lock it. Footsteps. Heavy, deliberate. He was inside the house. I shoved Jason under my bed, pressing a finger to my lips. He was trembling, his eyes wide with terror. Mark's voice echoed from downstairs, soft and sing-song. Emma, I know you're here. I saw your car. I just want to talk. His footsteps grew louder as he climbed the stairs, his voice getting closer. You shouldn't have broken up with me. Not before Valentine's Day. That was mean, Emma. The doorknob rattled. I held my breath, my heart thudding so loudly I was sure he could hear it. Then he started pounding on my bedroom door, each hit making the wood shudder. Open the door! Let me in! Jason whimpered, and I covered his mouth, my own eyes filling with tears. I could see his sneakers through the crack under the door, pacing back and forth. Then, silence. I waited, barely breathing. Minutes passed. I heard the front door open again, then close. I didn't move until I heard the rumble of my parents' car pulling into the driveway. I ran downstairs, throwing open the door just as they stepped onto the porch. I was shaking, tears streaming down my face as I tried to explain. They called the police, but Mark was long gone by the time they arrived. They found scratches on the back door and the words "Be mine" carved into the wood. I blocked his number, deleted every trace of him from my life. But every Valentine's Day, I hear that same soft, sing-song voice outside my window. Emma, I just want to talk. Number 3, I started receiving love letters a week before Valentine's Day. At first, I thought they were sweet, little notes tucked under my windshield wiper or slipped through my front door. They were handwritten, each one signed with "Your secret admirer." I laughed it off, assuming it was a prank from my friends. But the notes got stranger, more detailed. They mentioned things like what I wore that day or where I went after work. The last note on Valentine's Day chilled me to the bone. I love watching you sleep. I immediately checked my bedroom, my heart pounding. There was nothing there. I told myself I was being paranoid. Until that night. I woke up to a shadow at the foot of my bed. A man stood there watching me, his face partially hidden by the darkness. He was holding one of the letters. I screamed, and he bolted. The police found no sign of forced entry. They said he must have had a key. I changed the locks the next day, but I still find notes every Valentine's Day, no matter where I move.